Hey everybody, it's Jordan of PDQ.com. I'm with Colby and Katie here to help. We're going to go into Appx Packages. If it feels like this is something we've covered before, we have, but since Microsoft has decided that the user space is sacred unless it's Microsoft approved bloat, we've been getting a lot of questions on why is Skype showing up and how can I get rid of it? And we figure this is a good forum to tackle that. Alright, so I guess the first thing when it comes to Appx Package and they show up, there's two different command lists that you want to look at, or command list sets. One is Appx Package, and the other one is AppxProvisionedPackage. So if we go into PowerShell, we do a git command real quick for Appx Package. How's my typing? All right, you can see here that the source is Appx. But if you do the same command, only for provisioned package, the source is DISM. And so basically what this is saying is if it is a provision package, all new users, first time login, is going to install the software, or if update to the software comes out, it's going to reinstall it. So if you remove the Appx package, but you keep the provision package in place, it's going to come back eventually. I haven't been able to figure out an exact timeline, but guaranteed on first login and then various updates and everything, it's going to push it back out there. So if you're just doing the Appx package side, that's not going to quite cut it. You got to handle both of those. All right, so I guess if we just go in there, we'll take a look at what Appx packages we have on this machine. Let's just get Appx package. And I'm going to specify all users because I've been pretty thorough on this machine on removing these things. And you can see, wow, we got a lot. Apparently not as thorough as I thought. Stop that, we're only going to grab the name. You can see they have a whole bunch of stuff that, some of it useful, some of it not. But as you can see, it loads on a bunch of stuff. And so for this one, you can do something like get Appx package, pipe that in to remove Appx package. But that's going to remove a lot of the useful stuff as well as the stuff that's not so useful. So it's good to know, I guess, what you're looking for, what you want to remove, and have that list more specific. There's two methods. Either you can go through this list and find which ones you know you don't want and have that list, then do a for each loop, and it's going to go through, it's going to remove them all. Or we have a method here that we built, I don't know, some time ago, where it's kind of whitelist. Basically, you write in the ones that you approve of, the ones that you want. It will go through, it will grab those, it will grab the dependencies that those ones require, so you don't remove those, and it will remove everything that's not those. So that way, if something new comes along, like Skype, that's not on your approved list, it's going to automatically remove that with the same thing. But if you're looking for a specific one in Skype, and I don't believe this machine was able to get Skype because thorough, but I guess we can test that real quick. Boy, that's not even, I was not on home row. Appx package, and this time we're going to do, well, let's do all users again. We're going to specify the name, and just contains Skype. Skype, apparently. My typing is top notch today.
It's Lex tier.
Lex tier typing. So as you can see, it's not on Guinness. Like I said, a lot of my examples have been on this machine. So what we did is we have ourselves a blank template where I haven't been able to aggressively remove things that aggravate us. For the Git, you can run it in any context, but if you're going to be removing, it has to run as an admin. All right, wait for that to load up, and we'll do the same command. My goodness.
That's an interesting way of spelling.
Don't look at me. I'm just nervous, apparently. Either that or I'm always typing this terribly.
And now we're paying attention.
Now it shows.
Yeah. This is why we need to have Lex here.
Don't worry, there's only hundreds of people watching you.
Yeah, it's if it's just me, then it's folksable. If Lex was here, I'd be like, yeah, but Lex is over here.
Yeah, you're just channeling Lex today.
Let's all laugh at Lex. All right, so you can see this one does have Skype, whether we wanted it or not. So if we are looking to remove that one, it's get AppxPackage, you can just pipe that into remove AppxPackage. So a long time, the first time we started doing this, there's a lot of bad information out there. People would do the get Appx and then they'd go all users, they'd pipe that into remove, but remove couldn't accept the all user parameter, so it would run against the context that was running. So we put out counter information saying, here's why that's not working. And then they changed it up and they actually added all use to remove. So now all of our information is bad and the bad information is good. So there is an all users removal for remove-AppxPackage now. So if you're looking at some of my early work and I say it's not there, ignore that. That change is not version of PowerShell specific, it's Windows 10 specific. So if you have 1709 or later, the all users does work for the remove part. And 1709 I think is still supported for education until October of this year, and then nothing else. So unless you're still on the one that's about to go out of band or using LTSB, most likely the remove all users is probably good for you now. All right, do we have any questions?
Dear Jordan, how do you restore packages that you've removed by mistake, like the calculator, when you get too aggressive with your removals for existing as well as new users? Thanks, Billy Z.
All right, well, I've done this, the calculator exactly. So let's see if we come in here just to the reinstall AppxPackages. There's a couple of ways we can go about that. If you're removed just for a single user, you can come in here and do the get AppxPackage all users and grab the install location and then add the Appx manifest and then add, and then you register the path you just found and disable development mode, and it will reinstall on that machine. If you removed it from all users, then what you have to do is you have to get the install files. Well, there's two options. If you removed it from all users but provisioned is still there, log in with another user, run with all users, and you have the install location. But if you've done the provision, that's gone. You've done calculator, that's gone. Then you're going to need to go and find the install file off of another machine, but version matters. So if you removed it from 2004, you're going to want to grab from a 2004 machine those files and copy them over. And then it's just the same thing. You're adding AppxPackage, registering it to the path that you can specify. Apparently I was installing Bing Weather. That's useful. All right, and then disable the development mode, and that should get it back for you. So hopefully, I guess not hopefully, because the provision is how it always comes back, but if the provision is still there, it will install on its own eventually, or you can log in as a user and it will be there for all users for you to grab that install path. Otherwise, just go and find that. All right, so as far as accidentally removing, as I have done this many times, I don't have calculator on my own machine right now. We had the methods we talked about earlier, whether these specifying specifically what you want to remove or specifying which ones you want to keep. We just called that the whitelist method, I guess. So we have it in here. It's just a script that we wrote that kind of puts it all together. So we're creating a variable for all the packages. Let's change the size there. These listed all the ones we want to keep: calculator, MS Paint, OneNote, .NET, things like that, things that you don't want to remove. I included store. If you're an enterprise, I don't think the store is there by default, but it's just one of those, if store is there, it's not going to let you remove it anyway without elevation of a whole bunch of stuff, so I just put it there to avoid the errors. All right, and then what we're going to go through is for each package we have in there, if you do and we'll use one of these for the example, I guess. AppxPackage. Let's go name, and we'll look for the calculator. We'll see if I have that installed there. We'll just do select everything just in case not everything's listed. If you come in here, it has things like the publisher, the ID, the package family name, and in there is dependencies right there. And basically, if you remove these, the calculator's not going to work either. So a lot of times, like if you try to remove dependency, but calculator's there, it will block it and throw up an error. So what this is going to go through for each package you whitelisted, it's going to go through, it's going to grab the dependencies, add those to your list, and not try to remove those either. All right, and then finally we're going to go through, find them all if it matches. Boy, I've lost my own place. If it matches, then it breaks the point there, and then it will go through and do the remove. In my removal, I have here that the app is non-removable, because there are some that aren't flagged as non-removable. That only shows up in 1809 or later. So if you're running this pre-1809, you have to remove the and app is non-removable. Otherwise, it's just going to uninstall everything because none of them have that attribute. It doesn't exist. So put that all together. Just if you know which ones you want to keep, just put them in there. It'll keep the dependencies, keep the ones you want. And when anything comes up that you don't want, if this is running regularly, even if they do show up, it's still going to remove them. And this, like I said, this is only for the Appx. If you want to get to the core of it and stop the Appx provision, it's going to be something similar. It's going to be, instead of Appx provisioned package, and we're going to want to specify online, which just basically says for the version of Windows that it's running on. The definition of that under the page wasn't real clear to me, but if you don't have online or a specific manifest that you're pointing to, it's going to error out, so I just put online. All right, and then there's going to be a few other things to clean up here, like it's not going to be $name, it's going to be display name where they have full package name, so it's going to require some changes, but you can build the same thing for the provisioned package. I don't know if the provisioned actually has dependencies. It probably installs those when it installs the package, doesn't really worry about it for the uninstall part. So just that one, it's probably best to have both. One, remove what's there. Two, stop it from coming back. And then if you have these either in deploy on a schedule or as a group policy, then as a logon script, when people log in, if there is something new, it's going to remove it as soon as it adds it. You're never going to see it. And it removes fast enough that you're not going to have an issue. I guess we can see how fast it removes. Let's remove some app packages from, I guess I won't do Guinness because JJ gets nervous when I mess with the machine that can bring down the entire webcast.
I mean, we'll just have to end early.
It's like the execute, the abort button. Just boom, done.
Well, that was the show.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, so we'll go to this one that hasn't exited out yet, and we'll test run it on this one. But since I haven't saved it, and I'm pretty sure I haven't messed with my execution policy, I'm going to just highlight it and click F8. We'll see what removes. Oh, and as we're seeing, we're getting a bunch of errors. I'll have to take a look at that once it's finished running. You see, it is cycling through those many errors rather quickly. It's stop
One
and
failure after another.
Yeah. Removal failed. Please contact your software vendor. This one's past 1809. Well,
The software vendor is Microsoft, right?
yeah.
All right, so
In many cases, well, sometimes it's Candy Crush, and they're just paying for the rights to be there. All right, let's take a look at. Did I change anything when I was messing with the other one? I don't think I did. .name. Well, here's a quick way to find out. What's the final whitelist? All right, so there's all of the packages itself and all of the dependencies. If we do the, if we do the all users, let's remove all users. Let's just do get all Appx package. Yeah, they're still there. Interesting. So let's dive into the error one more time and see if we can find out real quick. Otherwise, we'll have to take a look at. I know this one worked previously, a couple months ago.
the joys of live.
The joys of life.
Oh, a couple months ago. That's
Yeah, and
that explains it.
yeah. Whitelist. Let's see name. Let's see. That did work. Oh, my machine over here started shutting down. Anyway.
Could that be it?
Well, no, it's the machine that we're remote into Guinness from. Yeah, so apparently I'm missing something. I'm gonna have to look into that one and see exactly. Let's see, removal failed. Full name. Error action silently continue. So let's see if we got $app. Dot full name. We'll see what we were looking to remove here. Package full name. Desktop installer. Maybe there's just a whole bunch of ones that are missing that it's giving the error on that you don't want to see. All right, so maybe pipe that to out. No. so we just don't see the errors, and we just want to see if it's clearing out the ones that aren't mandatory.
Piping to out null will not. You'd have to like do a try catch or
Oh, a try catch, yeah.
redirect the error because out null only works on the output stream, and errors are a different stream.
All right, so let's take a look here. We'll do, once again, a get Appx package for Skype, and we're going to select everything again. See what we have in here. There's no dependencies, and non-removable is there. All right. So I am not sure. Unfortunately, the one that it highlighted as last failed on was the desktop installer, which I could see where that would fail. It's probably a critical one, and I didn't have a way to look at those. Although, and that one says non-removable is not false, so it should have removed it technically.
Can we just do Skype over and over again?
Just do Skype. Well, I mean, if we wanted to showcase removing Skype, did I change that back? Yeah. Let's do Skype, and I guess we'll try the same thing with just the remove.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah, and that removes Skype. So apparently on this one I'm getting a whole bunch of packages I just wasn't expecting. So one more time, and let's just select. Yeah, because I do a package and I said name, so there's still a lot in there. So yeah, so unfortunately with the whitelist, it's not good. I can't basically specify only do this one within the loop. It's only going to go through and give you the list that it's not going to try to remove. So yeah, so Zune is still there, but Paint would be there. It still says Skype is still there as well. So this is a machine we've been having problems with. So just real quick, I'm going to try it on another machine just to see what we get. Maybe it's not just rebooting that's the issue.
It's just a borked machine.
Stubborn.
We'll find out. All right, I guess first we'll make sure that it has all the packages. All right, so we got a lot in there.
Substantial list.
Let's see if we get the same results. Yeah. I think I've seen it. So removal failed on a couple of them. Boy, it started failing really quick, didn't it? All right, so deployment remove operation with target volume C on package. And that is a new. So I've never run this on 2004, but I'm sure you don't want me to run this on Guinness right now where it's not working. I promise this works. I'm going to go and test it, see why it's not working on 2004 later, and I'll update. We have I believe the script out on the bonus content in the Git. I'll test that out.
Do you want to try it on Guinness?
You want to try it on Guinness?
I'm not running Skype for any of this webcast, so.
Well, this will remove more than just Skype.
All right, if this if this show ends,
I too
See ya.
like to live dangerously.
Well, what's the worst that could happen?
oh, you'll just lose your. The show should stay on, but you'll just lose your remote desktop.
Yep. All right.
Oh, this will be fun. Any bets? Type 1 if you think it's going to blow up.
No, not digitally signed. I forgot we have aggressive
Yeah.
execution policy
Yeah.
on this one. All right.
For good reason.
Yeah. Same thing. Same thing. Wow.
No one has any trust in us.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't have trust. Well, this one actually had 3 errors before I stopped it on my own, I guess. But let's see. All users. Let's see if we get the same aggressive lift there before I killed it. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to run it live and we'll let the errors go while we take a question. See what happens.
Dear Jordan, does Microsoft add packages during version upgrades that we'd have to edit our whitelist for? Sincerely, Ian W.
So if the whitelist was working, which I promise I'll get that working again, yes, that's how Skype got in there, is they added it after the fact. So if you're doing the whitelist version, the working one, not apparently what I'm running live to make a fool of myself, if it's something you don't want, it's going to instantly remove that one when it shows up. If it's one that you do want, then you're going to have to go through and add that to your whitelist after the fact, which can be a little bit complex, but we can take a look at that one next. All right, so now it finished running with all those errors. Just select only the name. Only spell it right. Yeah, see, Bing News is still there. So apparently I broke something between uses on this one. I will get this fixed. I will put the correct version up on the Git. The method itself I know does work. I just apparently did the wrong thing at some point. So we'll get this one working and get that up on the Git for you.
So don't use the one in the bonus content right now.
The one that's in there now, yeah. So
unless you're watching in the future.
unless we're watching in the future, yeah. Yeah, so I am not sure. I guess this is why you test things. I just assumed, hey, I did this 2 months ago. It worked great. And in fact, it worked so great, my machine doesn't have a single thing on it. I forgot the whitelist on mine, so I lost calculator like the previous user. So it does work. We'll just have to get that one, the kinks worked out on that one. I'll do that and get back to you. Unfortunately, that error wasn't really useful. You have to dive into that one. It's a good thing I didn't just do something on error handling like a week ago.
Yeah, good thing.
then I'd look really foolish.
Maybe we need to redo that one.
Well,
revisit it.
as an added bonus, folks in the chat have just changed your middle name to Danger.
Danger.
So there's that.
All right. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, he's glad it's that one and not something else.
All right. So now I guess just what we can do in inventory, I'm going to attempt to run something similar, but I'm going to create a PowerShell scanner, which, if this is working, which we'll find out, it's going to test a get Appx package, and if it doesn't find the command, maybe change it from hey ugly, it isn't Windows 10. That's just my personal type of note. And then it's basically the same thing. We're grabbing the whitelist, and then it's going to break it out into a list, and it's basically going to list all of the things that aren't on your approved list of your whitelist of the installed Appx packages. So let's because things have been going well with it so far, let's try it with scan profile.
Yeah, let's try our luck.
Yeah. Yes, I can. Let's see. Call it Appx. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
If you put it in words, in writing.
All right. Still Appx because naming is my forte. I'm just going to paste it right in there instead of using the file itself because, I like to do things poorly.
This is the real reason we have to constantly re-image Guinness.
Maybe. Although this one's not going to try to uninstall anything. It's just going to come up with a list. But I'll make sure I don't grab any of the critical machines there for it just in case. We're going to scan these computers with Appx, hopefully. It shouldn't take too long to come back on that one. While it's scanning, do we have any other questions?
Dear Jordan, what is the best practice to use the bonus PS1? Group policy to run every time at login, or is this a one-time use that you can run with inventory? Sincerely, our good friend, Joey P.
I think he's talking in the future.
In the future, yeah.
Written properly.
Yeah, of course he's talking about the one that works. So it depends. The remove Appx, if you've done the provision, should be a one-time thing. And with the provisioned, you'll need to run it once for what's there, but if they add something like Skype, you'd have to run it again. But it's not resource intensive, so having it run occasionally, whether it's a scheduled package or from group policy for login or boot up, should be fine. It's not going to slow down the process at all. All right. Well, there is nothing there.
You ran a different scan profile. I think it was called Appx, hopefully.
That's not what I ran? Oh.
Yeah, you didn't run still
You
Appx.
made two.
Oh, still Appx. Well, still Appx was the name of the PowerShell scanner. The scan.
Oh, and you named the profile differently. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got an output log on this one. Why would you try to remove anything? Did I not copy the right
paste in
thing?
there?
I didn't copy the right thing. I copied the removal one.
You were trying to... This is a show.
So on the bright side, if Black Panther now comes back at blank, we know it worked really well.
Is that something you'd want to put in a PowerShell scanner profile?
To remove, I mean, you can. It's just running PowerShell. It
Not
would
necessarily best practice, though.
not best practice. I think using it as a deploy package would be best. Yeah, that is the wrong one. There we go. We have put the right one in now, he said, verifying. And that's why copying it in instead of posting it to the file is the smart way to do things. But I haven't been smart yet. I'm not going to start now. Let's grab a different group. Scan them with Appx, hopefully. All right. Well, last time at least it ran pretty quickly, so we shouldn't be waiting too long to see if I finally got it right.
It's a very liberal use of the word, hopefully.
Hopefully. Let's take a look at Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so on Squanchy, you can see it has a VPN client, file manager, checkpoint VPN, a whole bunch of things that came in from Appx that aren't on your list. So you can kind of see on there what's on there from Appx that maybe you don't want. Toxic Rick apparently is toxic with its amount of Appx packages. That is an impressive list.
It's Toxic Rick.
Yeah. All right, so
Lives up to his name.
for those at home, we have verified the error that I'm having on my removal isn't with the gathering method, because as you see, none of the ones in the whitelist showed up. The error is with the removal method, and so I will definitely get that fixed. So the last one, I guess, is the provision packages, if you have to re-add those. We went over the installing the Appx packages, but provisioned, it's not really the same thing. There's no direct way to do that. So you have to get an ISO from the, I always get the letters mixed up, VLSC, Volume License Service Center. Yeah. Search for something and I'm looking at it because I always forget it. Windows 10 Inbox Apps. And those will give you all of the provision packages that you can have. And they give you the manifest and the XML. It is version specific. They don't let you know 1903. They'll basically say it was released May of 2019, which I believe is 1903. So there's a wiki out there that will let you know when each one is released, so you can kind of fine tune it that way. We're going to go back to this. I'm blaming the machine for all my failures. The machine that really let us down, guys.
All of them?
All of them.
All two that you tried? Well, three that you tried it on?
Oh, well, that's quite a few I tried on. Well, we never did the rescan on Black Panther.
Well, that's a good point. You tried them on all of them with the accidental script you ran.
Yeah, let's go back to these ones here.
That would have been interesting if it worked.
Yeah, it is worth noting that the error removal failed only popped up on the machine that I tested this on live, not on any of the other ones. So we're going to actually do the scan on, we'll come back to that after we go into install. I wonder if it worked on those machines, and then I have to figure out why I magically picked the 3 that it failed on. Alright, so if we're looking to add, you can either, after you download the ISO of the Windows 10 Inbox apps, you could mount that ISO and do that one, or I just went in and I grabbed the files and copied them over for Skype specifically. Apparently I'm going to re-add Skype. You still need to specify online, and then folder path. And this is where me writing things down would have been good, but I believe the Appx bundle for the folder path, and then you want the license path, which will be the XML. Bundle XML. All right, and then that must point to a folder.
Skype app has 2 P's, right?
Oh no, because I put a typo in the folder.
Check your work.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, because when I hit tab, it would cycle through the objects. So I'm pretty sure my issue is that it's not folder path because it's looking for a specific folder, but it's well, I have to edit the new one. Let's do package path. He said hopefully. Nope. Unspecified error. My goodness. See, I'm specifying this. I got the XML, got the bundle. I will make sure that I've only got in the title, yeah, there's only one P in there. All right. Yeah, I actually went through and I double-checked my work on this one before I came over.
And yet we're still here.
Well, I forgot the attribute that I used.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll go through them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it is package path, but... Well, this is a good point to highlight how useful the documents are, so...
We're going to have to do a sequel of this webcast where everything goes right.
Where everything goes right, yeah, boy. Well, we don't want to...
Ta-da!
The anti-webcast.
We'll just,
Jordan rewrote all the scripts and now they magically work.
we'll just go and add it to the end, like we'll just edit over. We won't remove my reaction if I fail, and we'll just edit in the working version. All right, so let's see here. Folder path, let's see.
Should we tell everyone that this one was last minute?
It was last
Because
minute.
it was.
Yes.
All right. So we're taking a look at which one I pointed to the bundle. So package path is the Appx. I didn't have that. License path was the...
Online folder path.
Yeah. So, let's see, package path, my Appx default. All right. So I'm not seeing that I did it wrong there. So we'll just call it my continued winning streak for this webcast. This is I've made mistakes before, but this is new level for me.
Stay tuned for removing pesky Appx Packages machine-wide part 2.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. It's not unprecedented. I make mistakes, but I mean, this one I specifically tested. Location dependency package.
Murphy's webcast.
Murphy's webcast.
Hashtag winning.
All right, yeah. So I'm sorry. I thought I had that one right. I wrote it down. I didn't write down the actual which folder there, but the results are the same. Once you get the ISO, you need the Appx bundle and the license path, and you have to specify online, and that will re-add the provisioned. That way, everyone that logs in will get it installed. I guess, do we have any other questions? If people trust me to answer them?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we? Dear Jordan, is OneDrive an Appx package? It seems to install for users as they log in. Thanks, Matthew B.
All right, well, let's test OneDrive. We know I haven't successfully removed anything, so...
You're in luck.
Let's get all users.
Type.
Yeah.
Type.
1. And then we'll, just in case there's many things with 1, we'll select the name so we don't get bombarded.
People are chiming in on the chat about how much they love OneDrive.
OneDrive.
But not your phone.
So I'm not seeing it on this machine. Let's take a look on the provisioned, I guess.
I'll know that it's an Appx package.
Yeah, so unfortunately I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but let's see here. Online. Just grab all of them and select the display name. Display name. Display name. There we go. Let's see, looking for anything OneDrive related in there. I see OneNote, but I haven't seen OneDrive.
Someone in the chat says its installers are in System32 and whatnot, pre-baked in the ISO.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, so not an Appx package, but it looks like they just found a different way to force it on you. So
PDQ Deploy. Sort that one out.
All right, next question.
Hey Jordan, can app removal scripts be run during the PDQ install portion of Windows deployment as they are imaging? Sincerely, Ethan H.
So the Appx, no, the provision package is part of DISM. So absolutely, if that's what you're doing for the imaging, you're using that. That can absolutely run, but the Appx packages, nothing will be there until someone logged in with the provision package available.
Any plans to add a REST API that can be used in PowerAutomate, PowerApps, PowerPlatform? Jose B.
I don't know of any plans. Like, we do have the availability to use PowerShell for both scanning and deployment, and you can use the REST method that they have built into that one. But as far as product specific, I don't know of any plans for that.
Yeah, our products do not currently have the services do not have a REST API currently. That is absolutely something I would love, but I don't foresee that happening in the near future.
Yeah. So I guess not that we know of.
It'd be pretty cool. Nice to have.
Hey guys, can you start putting the KB numbers in the name of the cumulative updates instead of having to go into the properties to see which update it is? Any plans to be able to see failed updates in the hotfix menu in PDQ Inventory? Thanks, Jerry A.
So I can't answer for the people that create those packages definitively. I can talk to them about it, see if there's a different place we can put the KB for them. But as far as the hotfix, I believe that one just finds which ones have installed. I don't think it tracks the failed ones.
Yeah, that's only installed. I believe one of the PowerShell scanners that we have in our GitHub repo, I think it's the Git Windows Update History. That one will show you failed update attempts.
Okay.
And our final question today, will you offer a self-service for PDQ Deploy, or is there a solution for this? It would be great if users could install or uninstall software themselves, machine-wide of course, no matter if it's an Appx or regular software. Thanks, Oliver S.
So it's not anything that particularly we support or you can set up, but if you do have the enterprise server SL, that's basically unlimited people that can run it. You could technically set it up to run that way. We have had some customers, I believe, that have done that. I don't know if they documented what they did in our forums or not.
It may require the command line. I know some people have used, like directly put it into SQLite. Probably not recommended.
Yeah, so the command line would work, and if you're building a web portal on that one, they could have little buttons that will run the command line that runs that package, but they would have to specify their own computer.
This one speaks to the REST API question.
Yeah.
Previous. If we had that, you could do it easily, but unfortunately we don't.
Yeah, so like I said, we haven't set that up, but we have customers that have. So if you have the right license model, you can make it work. It's just probably going to take a bit of trial and error. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry that all of my stuff didn't work there. I'll get that fixed up. We'll get you the right version so that's working fine for you. Yeah, unfortunately with Skype, it kind of highlights that even if you have removed everything, something that you don't like might still come in. So just having something constantly ongoing where it cleans up and keeps the environment how you want it to really honor the user space that Microsoft claims is sacred. So we'll get those fixed. We'll get you the right information. And for PDQ.com, I'm Jordan.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Matthew B. and Ethan H., winners of PDQ swag. Please send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. Thanks again for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here next week.